Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so my name's Eric, and I'm gonna take over the negative side, which is about keeping the death penalty rather than abolish it. So my first claim is that United States death penalty is constitutional and is justice. And my second claim is death penalty does provide some cost benefit. And my third is death penalty does serve as deterrent for crimes. So for the first claim, United States death penalty is constitutional. It's constitutional because we use lethal injection and puts the criminals down in the safest way possible without causing them pain. And even though there might be an accident that they go through something, it's not really, you can't really call that unconstitutional because it wasn't planned to give them any harm. And new drugs through technology can accomplish painless death without any torture. And it says here by Pam Beckler in New York Times. He published that in Texas, which carries out more executions than any other state. The controversy is focused on the proposed switch from the sodium thiopental to petrobarbital in the cocktail. That's the one that he, the affirmative side mentioned at the first claim. Although the drug might be running out, we do have a lot of technology that could potentially produce a lot of safe drugs without any side effects. And the reason why death penalty should be kept and never abolished is because it should always be an option as a last resort in case there's a criminal that is on a killing spree and you don't want to put that kind of person in there in the prison for a lifelong time. It's not justice, and it's better to just put them down at the end. And you can see an example from James Holmes' trial. It happened in August 2013. During the first phase of the sentencing, the panel of 9 women and 3 men concluded that capital punishment is justified because Holmes murdered a large number of victims, caused a grave risk of death to others, committed murders in heinous, cruel, and betrayed manner, and laid in wait for ambush. So he killed about 12 people, and that's not a regular crime that you guys see every day. And it's better to put the criminals down rather than keeping them in prison because they have nothing to live for. And another reason why it's better to have death penalty is because prisoners do not suffer in prison because okay, so there's a article said on the ABC News written by this professor that I could not get the name of. They're playing on softball fields with line, base pads, and umpires in uniforms, and they're not. And the other guys are hanging out, getting a suntan. Those guys committed the worst crimes, and those deserve to suffer the most generally suffer the least. And you can kind of tell from this that prisoners are not suffering like you guys, how people think they might. And for my second claim, death penalty does provide some cost benefit. Prisons are overcrowding, and the money for extra prisons are being used instead. They're supposed to be used for public education or public environment, and those money could be used to improve the public services. And instead we use the money to build extra prisons because of overcrowding. And here's for the evidence. It's written by Huffington Post and then their claim is that since then, California alone has built 22 new prisons while state fundings and other things like public education has drastically diminished. And that shows how money are being wasted. And more prisoners also mean more workers to keep the prisoners running, and which means higher cost of maintenance. And this is all due to overcrowding of the prisoners. And it says here that California has began a dramatic overhaul of a severely overcrowded prison system. Known as realignment, had the objective of shedding more than 30,000 inmates from the in-state prisons and significantly cutting the prison budget. At the time the law took effect, there were more than 134 inmates behind bars. So that's about 190% of the system design's capacity, which is very crowded, and it wasn't designed to function in 200% overcapacity. And for the third claim, death penalty does serve as deterrent for crime. It is impossible to prove that this does not serve as a crime deterrent, because since all the statistics provided on every sources show that rate for each different states between those that does have death penalty and the one that doesn't, they all have different rates. Logically speaking, it does not make sense to compare the statistics of two different states, because they have different environments and different people. So just because one state does not have death penalty and they have higher crime rate does not mean it was all based on the cause of death penalty. Okay. And I think that's it.